that lost a great large part of its tax base when, in that particular situation, the Sears store closed, which occupied about half of the entire municipality. So the real estate taxes, the income taxes, all of those left. We don't have that in Colwyn. For whatever reason, I'm not here to ascribe or go back or say when it started, but Colwyn did not have sufficient revenue to meet its expenses. We didn't have a revenue problem, though. I think we had an expense problem. In 2014, all of Borough Council acted to enact very austere measures, which helped control a lot of that spending. So I think that with the assistance from the state, with professional assistance in terms of developing a financial recovery plan and giving assistance to the Borough Council, I do think that the Borough Council can emerge from Act 47 status, given the proper amount of time, the proper amount of assistance from the state. And I certainly do believe that one of the issues that we have is that we will need some type of loan assistance as is available and permitted under the Act. I would recommend that that be included. Controlling our spending, continuing to receive the revenue. And let me tell you, I give the people of Colwyn great credit. You've seen the passion that many people have for their municipality. It's on display tonight. It's on display every month at the council meetings. These people in Colwyn care about their community. And I had grave concerns in the beginning of 2014 when we were not able to obtain a tax anticipation note, and when I was very concerned about the cash flow of the borough, and I was very concerned about whether or not we would have a successful collection rate given all the news that was going around. And I advised council, I said, when you come to me and say we don't have the money to pay this, I don't have an answer for that. You know, they didn't teach that in law school or any other place. But I will give the people of Colwyn credit. They came through, and it was amazing the tax payments that were made, and made early last year. You know, this council appealed to its residents to not only pay their taxes, but help us out and pay it a little bit early, and they did. So, you know, I think you have a committed community here that moving forward, revenue is not going to be the issue. The tax assessment base is relatively stable. It certainly isn't great, but we're not experiencing many tax appeals. There might be some residential ones, but there are no major.
You're near the end of your...
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So with that, you know, I certainly urge the state to approve the resolution that was submitted, and look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Mr. McLean. Greatly appreciate it. Are there any borough employees present that would like to speak? And if so, can you please raise your hand?
I'm not a borough employee, but I work for the borough. They had asked me to come this evening.
Do you currently work for the borough?
Well,
Yes, he's the mechanic that I told you about.
But you're consultant, I mean, you're a private
I was
contractor.
asked to come by the manager and a few council people.
Well, do you mind speaking right after the formal employees?
Nope.
Okay, great, thanks. Dan? And please provide your name, your title to the stenographer.
Daniel Rutland,
Spell it.
421 Thatcher Avenue, Colwyn, Pennsylvania. I am the Borough Code Officer for the Borough of Colwyn, but I think I'm more speaking as a taxpayer.
Can you spell your last name for the stenographer?
R-U-T-L-A-N-D. I guess as everybody knows, I instituted a petition around on trying to get Act 47 involved. Biggest problem we have is that we did not have functioning, and we still don't, functioning councils. There was no plan from as far back as I can think, at least back to 2007. Right? There hasn't been a plan or a direction on where this council is going. The town has been going down. Services have been going down, being cut. Opportunities for children to get into things have been severely deterred by for different reasons. I'm not going to get into what they are, but there's been a lot of things that it's all, what happens is it comes down to it's about money, but it's not about money that's going to help the borough. That's my opinion, okay? It's not about monies that are going to help the borough. I believe that this, you know, with your help, putting us onto a direction and influencing these council people on what their duties are and how they should be doing those duties, like by giving them information and whatever else you guys do. I think it's going to be a benefit to every taxpayer and every resident in this borough. And that's one thing we need. We need to move forward with some form of plan, not just go out and spend money for the thing of spending money or cut money for the reason that just to cut money. There has to be a plan. And that's what we need to get into, is getting ourselves a plan in this borough on where we're going. We're either going down or we're going to move on. There's only two places you can go. You can't be stabilized, because being stabilized right now is no good. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Any other currently employed? Yes, officer.
How are you folks? Thanks for being here. Mike Drucker is my name. I'm a lieutenant here, Colwyn Borough Police Department. Again, I was asked to come here and speak with you tonight. I have a very optimistic view for the future of Colwyn. I've seen it go through quite a bit, and I think it's moving in a positive direction. I'm here to speak about our police department. Give you a little background on myself. I was a councilman. I was a committee man. I was chairman of the board of a regional water authority, bought out the Point Pleasant Pumping Station, Herculean task. Was on the zoning hearing board, planning commission, and I was elected to the Pennsylvania Municipal Authorities Association for the whole state. I don't say that to impress you. I say it to impress upon you that I've walked in your shoes, many of you. What I see, just going over a few things that I've seen since I've been here. I've been here less than 5 years. But with that said, I have twice as much time on this force than any other officer. Imagine that. That's staggering. Our turnover rate is staggering. We just can't keep good people. We're a part-time department. There's no part-time office, no full-time officers, none, zero. We have a full-time chief, that's it. So the attrition's incredible. We just hired 3 new officers. 2 of them are testing and with other agencies already. They're not even on the streets by themselves yet. Management here in our town, I think that it was extreme mismanagement. Officers would work without pay come the end of the year for 2 pay periods. 2 pay periods right around the holidays. Pretty inopportune time for that. 2 pay periods, that's a month without pay. Would have to wait until the tax anticipation note came in so that they'd get caught up on their pay. Some have quit during that period of time when we needed them the most. Sometimes we have, going back to mismanagement, 3 supervisors, a clerk and an administrator getting paid, while you'd have 1 officer on the street with no fuel in his car. He'd be walking a beat. Can you imagine? Please imagine that in your mind, because it's staggering to me. I can't believe it. Misuse of overtime. There was times that there was more overtime hours paid than there was hours in a day. Imagine that. How does that slip through? I don't know. It's befuddling to me. Backup, we still struggle with backup, but what we were experiencing is no backup at all. Shots would be fired in our town. No other agency would respond to it. Sometimes we'd have 1 officer on duty. No one would come. No one. When I say no one, I mean nobody. Darby borders us, they wouldn't come. Philadelphia is not on the same radio band. I know many of their command staff down there. Went to school with some of them, command school. They're not on the same radio band, so they wouldn't even hear our calls. And we're not selling ice cream here, folks. It's a busy little town. Credit, we would buy fuel oftentimes, more times than not, near the last few years, not this last year or so. But take cash out of an envelope to buy fuel. We had no credit. Walk into the shooting range and they laugh at us. You know, I wasn't asking for any credit, but they would tell me when they saw my patch that we wouldn't get any credit. Go to the fuel station, nobody would give us any credit at all. Credit cards, if we had them, would be declined. So we reverted to going in with cash. Highly unusual, in my estimation. Back to the backup, I digressed there a little bit. If you went into a Wawa to get a cup of coffee in this area, we don't have one in our town, up to Sharon Hill. On a lunch break, you'd walk in, a bunch of cops would be there oftentimes, as there sometimes are in a coffee shop. You go in, they'd be, very, very amenable at first. They'd recognize our patch, and they would literally turn their backs on us. Literally, like I'm standing here, turn my back. Imagine. Brothers in blue, right? Our vehicles are falling apart. We have 2 vehicles currently. We have one patrol vehicle. We have an SUV. The SUV has a sunroof and reclining seats, but no prisoner cage. That's a dangerous vehicle to have. I can't imagine that I'm using saying these words to you. A couple of positive things. I see the lights changing a little bit. Eliminated non-productive police personnel. There's no clerk, there's no administrator, there's working supervisors. There's 2 supervisors, and we work the streets where we belong. It's a small town with a small budget. More boots on the ground, less money to do it. We charge and we arrest appropriately. People aren't just getting disorderly conduct when they've committed an assault. They're getting charged appropriately, arrested.
Lieutenant, you are in your time out.
Okay, very good. Paychecks are clearing. We don't pay cash for anything. Our credit's good. You go into the gas station, we can get gas, go to a repair shop, we can get our cars fixed. Still no backup, but I think we are moving in the right direction.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Good job. Good
We need your
job.
help.
Good job.
Mike.
Yes, sir. It's Drucker. D-R-U-C. T as in Thomas, O-R.
Any other employees that work for the borough? If not, Mr. Mechanic, I don't have your name, but you may speak. If you could please give us your name and...
My name is Steve McGonigal. I own McGonigal. Stephen, Stephen, S-T-E-P-H-E-N, McGonigal, M-C, capital G-O-N-I-G-O-L-E. I'm the owner and operator of McGonigal Auto Repair in Darby. And my heart's been in Colwyn for years. I live here. And I was asked tonight to come by council and the borough manager. I took over the mechanic work in January of 14. And I extended credit to them for a period of time so that I could get their vehicles running. Out of 6 police cars, I was able to get 3 running. I have 3 at my shop that are in pretty bad shape. They have 5 trucks. I guess I would say just 2 of them probably run pretty good, and the others need some extensive work, including a salt spreader that we barely made it through the winter with. I mean, they need some help with some vehicles, and that's pretty much, I actually took 3 vehicles with the okay of council and the manager and the police chief, and I took parts off them for them. I made 3 cars is what I basically did, and tried to keep the bills down for them, and I waited for them. But like I said, my heart was always with Colwyn, and I didn't mind doing it. And DCE, I forget how to say it, but you were always there for Colwyn when I was here. I remember that. I think some of the grants for the police cars came through your department, you know, always assisting Colwyn. So thanks for hearing me, and thank you, and I hope you can help.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Any other employees or part-time employees or employees or contractors? Okay, hearing none, then are there members of the public that would like to speak? If so, can you please raise your hand? Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Before I go to members of the public, sorry about this. I have to call Mr. Jim Halligan, if he's here. He's outside counsel for Derby Creek Joint Authority. I'm sorry.
May I defer first to Mr. Judge, who's the solicitor for DCPA?
Sure. Can you please spell your name and identify you?
It's William Judge. I'm the solicitor for Derby Creek Joint Authority. And I will quickly defer to Mr. Halligan. I just wanted to point out the importance of Colwyn to Derby Creek Joint Authority. We are a membership organization that basically conveys all the sewage for our member organizations. We are responsible to serve your sewage conveyance and treatment needs of our member municipalities. Each member is responsible for paying its own proportionate shares, and through our organization, to try to keep those costs down, working together as a group. Colwyn has become our largest creditor. Certainly this has had an effect on our member organizations. The effect has become that our member organizations have had to essentially pay Colwyn's share and have had to carry Colwyn and through the payments into Delcora, who is responsible for then cleaning the water and transporting it back. So in two ways we have a vested interest. I think we have a vested interest in maintaining Colwyn as a member, and maintaining their membership allows our other members to cut costs, but certainly their sustainability will have an effect on the member municipalities and local municipalities, because their failure to pay is creating a burden and sort of ripple effect to the other costs that have been created through failure to pay. I would defer now to Mr. Halligan, who can speak a little greater on Colwyn's current failure to pay and current debt obligations to our organization. I would ask to submit, though, what I've marked DCJ as Exhibit 1. It's just a more complete statement on behalf of our organization.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry I didn't address you first. Mr. Halligan, can you spell your name and identify who you are?
Yes, James Halligan, Halligan. Good evening. May it please the hearing officer and the board. My name is James Halligan. I'm an attorney at the law firm McNichol, Burnham, Matlosky in Wheatley, Pennsylvania. Our firm was hired by the last solicitor, James Merkins of the Darby Creek Joint Authority. Mr. Judge has taken over for Mr. Merkins as Mr. Merkins has become a magistrate judge. We have been hired as the outside litigation counsel for collection of the outstanding sewage fees that Darby Creek Joint Authority is entitled to from Colwyn. We began litigation on or about July 22nd of 2014, and I would ask to mark this evening as the amended complaint filed on July 22nd, 2014 as DCJ's Exhibit 2 for the board's consideration, for the hearing officer's consideration. And at that time, we filed for the collection of quarterly payments that were outstanding, and the quarterly payments extended for the fourth quarter